Well, the trial progresses, and it gets to the end. It goes to the jury, and I had predicted this. If you watch an interview I did from a couple days before the verdict, I said he's going to beat the RICO. He's going to beat the sex trafficking. He might get hit with a prostitution charge, but that has no mandatory minimum, and it'll probably be a slap on the wrist. Everyone got mad at me, but that's exactly what happened. Were you surprised at the verdict?
No, because I knew that Jane and Cassie weren't the real victims. I knew it the whole time. I had been telling the U.S. Attorney's Office this. So the more I watched the trial, and honestly, I'm trying to pursue a legal career myself. His attorneys did an amazing job. They tore every one of those witnesses apart. They proved that they all had motives to lie on him. And I think that they did a good job exposing the lies of the U.S. Attorney's Office and how they tried to fabricate the narrative of this prosecution. So once I realized that the women, because I saw Jane, I wasn't really concerned with Cassie, but Jane was the one who I thought could possibly be a victim of sex trafficking. I knew Cassie wasn't. Once I knew her case, I said, she's lying. She got beat, but she was totally with these freak-offs. She was his ride-or-die chick for all those 8 years. They did this. Cassie and Diddy and freak-offs were like Mark Anthony and Cleopatra in an Egyptian pyramid smoking opium and fucking African slaves. This is what a freak-off really was. They'd have platters of fruit, baby oil, and I would be made to sit to the side while they talked cuddle. When Cassie wanted the big black penis, she would say, come here, sugar dick, and that's what I'd be called. Literally, this is what a freak-off was. Cassie was completely complicit. Jane, I didn't know about.
Well, I interviewed Don the dealer, who basically was the first instance of the freak off. And she actually talked about him on the stand, and he essentially said the exact same story. And he said that she was totally into it. She would giggle and clap when he was describing what it's like. And they had like dozens of freak offs, and at no point was she anything but enthusiastic. In fact, unlike Cassie, who he had been with as well, she began to just run the show. She would pick out the underwear, and she would tell Diddy what they're going to do and tell him to be quiet because she was into it and so forth. So, yeah, I'm looking at this going like, where's the victim? I don't see any victims. I see girls who are agreeing to do these things sexually and so forth. And the whole thing of, well, if you don't want to do this, I'm going to stop paying your rent. There's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. This is
like,
choice.
I have to keep paying your rent if you and I are not sexually compatible anymore? Like, that doesn't make any sense. That's not extortion, or that's not bullying. That's just saying, okay, I'll give you 3 more months, but you got to figure it out.
Exactly.
So, you know, it finally came through. Although he didn't win, he beat all the serious charges.
Yes.
Now, the thing that bothers me a little bit, and I've talked about this before, is Cassie, for all intents and purposes, has won.
She has.
She's the biggest winner in this entire situation. $20 million from Diddy, $10 million from the Intercontinental. She put Diddy in jail. No, Diddy is the synonym for being gay right now.
Yes, it is.
He lost hundreds of millions of dollars in business endorsements and various other business ventures. He may go to prison for up to 10 years, actually up to 20 years. If you think about it, 2 charges, they could run concurrently. And after all that, she still writes a letter to the judge and says, I don't want him to come out before sentencing because I'm scared. You got $30 million.
Yeah.
You could hire a whole army battalion to protect you.
True.
In fact, I think Diddy's way more scared of you than you are of him.
Totally.
Because you've hurt him more than anybody.
Yes.